Matthew said America loves an underdog, which sometimes it does, but ain't nobody rooting for you. Nobody. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. I was just clear. Okay. We're still congested, but we are here for Love is Blind Season 6, Episode 2. These people. These people. As always, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, leave some comments down below, spoiler free comments. Try to keep the comments focused on the episode that we are recapping, which is episode 2. All right. Again, if you don't do anything, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video. So let's get started. So off rip, we're gonna start with. Let me move this over. Okay, so Jeremy and Lauren. Jeremy comes into the pod and calls her Sarah. And she was like, no. So then he was like, oh, it's Laura. Now, he plays it off a little bit and said that he was being just a smartass when, nah, you really messed up. And I like how she said, why would you guess if you weren't 100%? Something about Jeremy I don't like outside of the way that he spells his name. Unnecessary, stank, whatever. But he then tells her he wears Henleys because he has a thick neck. What is this conversation? He said that he doesn't like wearing typical crew neck t-shirts because it rubs up against his neck. It's like OCD. She talks about being OCD as a kid, even though it was never clinically diagnosed. And then they talk about having a clean house. Y'all don't have nothing to talk about. Y'all don't have nothing to talk about. So I guess. I guess y'all. We then pan over to before that, Lauren went back to the ladies' lounge and it's like she's hung up on the fact that he called her the wrong name. Now he thought that he played it off and that she was cool with it, but she's not. So now she kind of feels away. She feels that he called out the name of who he really wanted it to be, which is facts. Because we pan over and we see Jeremy with Sarah Ann. So he tells Sarah, I called somebody else your name earlier. I said, child, why don't you even tell her that and like get her even more big headed than she could be? Whatever. So they talk about what their mornings would be like if they got together. He then asks, like, where would we live? And he was like, well, I have a 4-bedroom house. And she was like, okay, I got an apartment, so clearly with you. Then he flips it and was like, well, I'm renting because I sold my other house. Jeremy, where you live at, sweetheart? Where you live? I just kind of feel like if you don't own this 4-bedroom house, why would you even present it as if you did? He then said that he wants to buy a house with the person, with his wife, because he doesn't want her to feel uncomfortable in the house or to feel as if like she's just moving into his space where he's clearing out a drawer or closet space for her. So that is very admirable about him. But I just feel like, why didn't you say, well, I have a 4-bedroom house? Like, what's tea? Something about that was weird to me. We pan over to Johnny and Amy. So they're talking. They're having a little sushi date. We love to see it. And oh shoot, no, is this the sushi date? This isn't the sushi date. They're talking about their biggest fears, okay? And she said that her biggest fear, well, she said her biggest priority is her brother. So remember I said, why is she so like whatever about her brother? We find out this episode that her brother is on the spectrum and he has ADHD. So her father is her brother's primary caretaker. But she said if something were to happen to her brother, she's next in line to become his guardian. And so she wants to be very intentional and very careful with who she picks to be her husband, because if push come to shove, I need you to love my family the way that I love my family. So if my brother has to come stay with us for a period while we, transition him to, whether it be like a group home or some place where he can live an independent life, then I need you to be on board with that. And Johnny is like, totally, he's cool with it. He said it, he's all for it. They talk about how easy it is to just write people off for like the smallest thing, and people do that in friendships as well, right? I feel like the smallest thing, people are so quick to just be done with other people. And they say that there is a lot of soul searching in this process, which I'm sure it does. So it's leading them to kind of look at things differently. You tolerate more things than you think that you would outside of the pods in the real world. But they're vibing, they're jiving. Kudos to them. We pan over to AD. AD is kind of getting on my nerves. Not even gonna hold y'all. But I said she would on my video with how my cast reveal, first impressions. So she's talking to Alejandra, who clearly does not have a storyline, who clearly does not find anybody, and they're only showing her for the sole purpose of giving AD a friend in the pods. Got it. So they're talking, and AD is pissed. She feels that Matthew is playing her and is. She said that she told Amber, or he told Amber the same stuff he told her, basically verbatim. But she then says that, so we got that situation with Matthew. Over here with Clay, she said that she is okay with being fix a hoe. I said, girl, what? Oh, okay, if that's what you want to do. But she then goes on to say that she is refusing to tell him how she looks physically. I don't believe that. I think I believed you initially, but now that you want to play fix a hoe, you're going to tell that man how you look. 5'5" with thick eyes, smile like the sunrise. Y'all remember that City High song? But I feel like that's what she's going to tell him. He's going to be all over it. And I feel like he still won't like her. I could be wrong, but Clay gives me the vibe that he likes light skinned women. So, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Matthew and AD, so they have a date. She comes in swinging, okay? Tells him, look, I heard you've been having these same conversations with somebody else here in the pods. And he is like, was it Amber? I said, ooh, he's so awkward. He's worse than old boy from last season. The Confederate, not the Confederate. The firefighter, excuse me. He's worse than the firefighter. And she was like, yeah. So Matthew was like, it's not true. I didn't tell her all the same stuff. I didn't go as deep with her as I did with you. So that means that you did tell them the same stuff, but you just took it a step further with AD. So he then said that his heart beats out of his chest when he walks into the room with her. His feelings for her are not changing. He said, I bird for you. See, he been watching Bridgerton, okay? And he tried to, talk your shit, spit your game. And it's really not going to work because AD is not the one or the two. She's not the one or the two in this situation. So he tells her that, he wanted to give her the greatest moment of her life with a proposal, and he builds it up. You've watched the show, right? And you see the greatest moment come about, and I want to give you that. I said, what? Are you proposing now? It was very awkward. It was manipulative. And I felt like you were really just rubbing shit in her face when you did that. I didn't like that at all. That was weird to me. So he then said that he's scared of her having other connections as well. We know that she does with Clay, so I don't know why AD is acting as if she's not messing around with anybody else when she really is. But I think her issue is just the fact that he told her and Amber similar things. So he said if he had to choose right now, he would pick her in regards to AD. He said that he's making decisions tomorrow and not to give up on him. She's not going for it. She can tell that she's like already one foot out the door with him because she feels the way that, you saying the same stuff to me that you said to her. So, Clay. Something about Clay ain't right, y'all. Something about Clay is not right. So he apologized for earlier, okay? With, I guess he probably said, I can't be out here trying to, ask how fat her wrist is to try to see, how much she weighs. He realizes that, can't do that. Can't be on his, what movie is that from? His Ray Charles, when Ray Charles used to feel the women's wrist to see how thick you are. Imagine I'm not going to do it. Let me not even go there. So, she tells Clay that he sounds like every other man she would typically go for. And then for whatever reason, we don't know, but she starts talking about this love triangle that she's in with Matthew and Amber. Talking about I want him and he wants her, but he did this and that and that. And the way that Clay was doing laps around that room, he then said, do you like me? Because nothing that you just talked about has anything to do with me, sis. I was with Clay. Girl, why are you telling this man all this? What? So he asked, well, who is it? She was like, it's Matthew. He was like, Matthew? Who the fuck is Matthew? Matthew! It was the audacity for me. He was disgusted, okay? So he tells her, you're going to regret this. I said, I know that ain't a threat. Absolutely not. What would she regret? She don't know either one of y'all. She might regret getting with you. You the man on the Wave Nouveau box. She might regret getting with you. I guess. So he then said, I'm fighting with my ego right now. And I said, no, you fighting with your intelligence. That's what you fighting with. You fighting with that little curl that want to give you the little Michael Jackson in the front. Clay, here's the thing. Anybody that talks in third person, like, for me, is a red flag. But it's a whole nother animal for you to be saying, I'm fighting with my ego. Nigga, what? You are not on that. It looked like you got on mascara, to be real. It looks like he has on eyeliner underneath his eyes. The audacity. You will never live down the salmon suit with the mustard shirt that was ill-fitting. You wore a fucking zoot suit. She doesn't like his tone, and I didn't either. So he did tell her he apologizes for being aggressive, but he's still rocking with, I still rock with you, I see you tomorrow. I said, now you done turned into an 80s B-boy. Nigga, go back to the room. Go get a sip of water. Because you were doing a lot, sir. A lot. She goes back to the ladies' lounge and she's talking to Amber. Amber is like, so wait, he told you what? So now they both got the same speech from Matthew about them, he would leave tomorrow with them. Amber said that she's going to live out her worst fears and slay. I said, girl, what that mean? But honestly and truly, Amber feels like she feels bad. I feel bad for Amber because Amber thinks she did something wrong when you really just helped both of y'all get out of this weird situation with him, right? So over in the men's lounge, however, Clay tells Drake and Kenneth that Matt is a sleeper and he got blindsided and said that his date went real bad. It didn't have to go bad. You took it there, you weirdo. So he said that he felt humbled in that moment because that's not who she's going to go for. How do you know? That's not who she's going to go for? That's the thing. Like, you have no, like, she has no scale to compare. Like, whatever. It's the audacity for me. So he then said that he doesn't like having competition with people that he doesn't feel is on his level. Then looks at Kenneth, who I don't care for Kenneth here either, but looks at Kenneth and then turns to the other guy and was like, if it was you, Drizzy, I will respect it. And I said, damn. So, like, here's the thing. Clay swear that he 90s fine. You're not 90s fine. You're not a Jalen Hurts. You're not a Lance Gross. You're not a Morris Chestnut. Okay? You, like I said, you're, let's just move on. Let's move on, okay? So we get Brittany and Kenneth. I didn't realize his voice was deep, deep like that. But basically, the gist of them is she's a teacher, he's a principal. His biological mom died from cancer when he was 12 years old. My God. Her father died when she was 5 years old from alcoholism, affecting his liver and his kidneys. Couldn't survive. Brittany said that the world sees her as this alpha woman, but she wants to be submissive and be led. She says she can't wait for the day when she can tell her child, "What did your dad say?" I said, "Oh, that's a goal of yours, huh?" All right. So she was born on her mom's birthday. Her mother was a twin. And at 29 years old, her aunt died in a car accident. So a year later, the following year, she was born on her mom's birthday. So her mother has never had to celebrate her birthday alone. They talk about how many kids they want, if they would be open to twins. I mean, you got to be open to twins if you're open to having kids, right? You don't get to say, okay, well, we just want to keep that one. Like, you got to be open to both of them. But his mom was a twin, her mom was a twin. In my family, twins actually skip a generation. So it's not like, but hey, kudos to them. They seem cute enough. We get a very brief scene with Johnny and Amy. This is when he slips up and tells her that he loves her. Kudos, kudos. So then let's get to Jimmy and Chelsea. She apologizes for crying. You did absolutely nothing wrong, Chelsea. He handled that poorly. He handled that poorly. You didn't do anything wrong, sis. Okay, don't think that you did. He then apologizes for making her feel the way, as he should. She wants to talk about her divorce. He said, "I don't care. It's not a deal breaker." Okay. Something like Jimmy ain't on there either. Okay, I'm gonna say that Jimmy ain't quite. It's like something turning all the way over with Jimmy. Okay, so Chelsea says that she can see herself, or Chelsea asks if he can see himself being with somebody at the end of this. Jimmy said, "Yeah, I don't want to talk about other people though." I said, "Excuse me." Chelsea, that should have told you you're not the person he sees himself with at the end. He then decides, let's change the subject. Let's change it. So Chelsea, he don't like you, sis. Boom. I mean, let that be the hint. Okay, let that be the red flag bouncing off your forehead. He don't like you. So she asked him if anybody has ever told him that he looks like a celebrity. He said yes. Chelsea was like, I get this all the time when I'm on a plane from other people because I have blue eyes and dark hair. Girl, not you trying to sell yourself. So then she was like, MGK, is it his wife or girlfriend? The way me and Jimmy was like, girl, Megan Fox, you got a little too much dip on your chip, don't you? Megan Fox, y'all. I am that meme right now from Bad Girls Club when New York. That wasn't New Bad Girls Club. From Flavor of Love, excuse me, from Flavor of Love, when New York is sitting on that bed with the glasses. That was me initially. Then I became the Beyonce meme. Megan Fox. I'm sorry. Now, Chelsea is not a bad looking woman, but nothing about you gives Megan Fox, sis. Nobody has said because you have dark hair and blue eyes that you look like. Next scene. Next scene. So, oh my God. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying. Ooh, I saw some of the comments. Y'all were like rubbing under your nose. I do that, but I'm not gonna do that on camera. Y'all ain't gonna have me. Y'all ain't gonna be talking about me all up and down the streets and the lipstick forums and everything else. Or what is it, lipstick alley? Y'all not gonna be talking about me because Tammy had shit all over her nose. Nope. I'll just keep sniffing, and we're gonna hope by tomorrow that I'm not as congested. So we then get over to Jimmy and Jessica. So Jessica's having a little breakdown. She has mommy guilt, okay? She misses her daughter. She's in her daughter as her best friend. She's obsessed with her daughter. And she just kind of lets Jimmy know, like, even though I'm having this moment, I don't want you to think that I'm not like excited to be here with you. So he asks what her daughter is like, and I love when people are like, my kid is so cool. But she was saying how if I was a kid in her classmate, I would want to be her friend. You have to be your kid's biggest cheerleader. You have two choices in life. You can be your kid's first hater, or you can be your kid's first cheerleader. Always pick the cheerleader side. Always. My parents were my first cheerleaders, right? They don't agree with everything I do, right? But my mom has never been my hater. My dad has never been my enemy. So, like, it is important to nurture that into your kids. It is, y'all. I have friends. I have been friends with people in the past whose parents were their first hater, who were their ops, who were their enemy, and it reflects on the type of friend that they in turn become. Words to the wise. So he asked if she wants more kids, and she was like, "You can't tell I'm obsessed with being a mother." Absolutely, yeah. She said I will be just as obsessed with another baby. So she's all on board. Jimmy talks about how he has five other siblings. He's one of six, and his oldest sister was adopted. So his parents were both married before, and both of their spouses passed away. So the his mother's first husband had a child. When the father passed, when the husband passed away, she adopted the girl. Amazing. Cause you don't see that happen. That girl could have went to the system. That girl could have just went back to other family. But for her to adopt her stepdaughter like that, you don't. I mean, it happens, sure, but that's amazing. That's real. I mean, that was with old girl, right? The cuties girl from a couple seasons ago. That was with Cole. That happened with her too, right? Wasn't she adopted by her stepmom? So Jessica talks about being in and out of foster care because her mother died when she was young, and then her father went to prison. So that's why she was in and out of foster care, and then her father ended up taking his own life. So she was adopted at 16, got pregnant with her daughter at 17. So she views her mother, her adopted family, as like her lifesaver, because if she would have been in the system and got pregnant, that would not have been her baby, and that baby would have been in the system too. So I guess they're bonding on adoption. So I hope it works out, but girl, I don't know. Jimmy also told some of the guys that like his kind of biggest fear is he's ready to be a stepfather, and I guess wondering if either the little girl or Jessica is gonna have some hesitancy when it comes to that. So let's get over to Chelsea and Taylor. They talk about sleeping with the fan on, the AC on. They wanted 65 in the house, no TV. She jokingly said that he might have a mullet. He laughed and was like, I do. They think the other one is joking. She's apparently a sucker for a mullet. He asked, are you mentally incapacitated in some way? Why you like mullets? Why do you have one? Okay. Somebody for everybody. Johnny and Amy. Johnny proposes. I said you didn't want to throw on a suit, maybe a collar, but kudos to them. We get their reveal next episode. And then this is where the weirdness comes out for me. Matthew and AD. Was I the only person that noticed that when Jamar said, Matthew, your book is over here, he didn't say thank you. He just came and grabbed the book? being weird is a choice. So he comes in and he tells AD that he's going through it. And he's like, uh, did you know that Amber left? And he was like, I think she left and it's about me. And she was like, that's very audacious of you. I said, okay, college, come on, big words. Audacious, audacity is not a big word, but it was still funny. And she says that she feels that he manipulated her reality and he played with her journey on here. So he's sniffling, and unlike me, he's not congested. He's crying, and he's either forcing himself to sniffle or he's trying not to cry. So he then said that he just feels bad. He's going through a lot. It's been a heavy day. He then said that he has the country of America on his side because America loves the underdog. I said, who's on your side, weirdo? I sure in the hell am not. Who's on your side, Matthew? And I thought it was weird for you to even say that. Like, is Matthew there for the cameras? I guess. What does he do for work? Somebody remind me what Matthew does for work, because are you there because you think you're going to like get more attention to your business? This was a very weird conversation. So he then said that he does not think that she wants anything to do with him because he doesn't like the way she sounds. Now, granted, she is over there rolling her eyes and stuff. So he asks if she has a connection with somebody else. She says yes. He tells her that he's done since it's not fair to her that he cannot commit to the plans that she wants. She then asks him if he is devastated that Amber is gone. And he was like, yeah, I just broke someone's heart on national television. He was like, America's going to be watching. I said, it ain't just America, but am I the only person that was weird to? I guess. So he comes back to the men's lounge and he said he's done. He's leaving and he's getting ready to go get Amber. I said, well, go and get her there. Go and get her there. I mean, you can say you're going to get Amber, but does Amber want to be got? We'll find out. Let me know what you guys thought about episode 2. Remember, please, no spoilers. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. We got a subscriber goal, y'all. Thumbs up the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.